Hello and welcome to this month's edition of the Worcester Public Library's Coming Soon titles. I'm Taylor and this is my colleague,
Joy.
Thank you for joining us. Today, as usual, I'll be presenting 3 fiction titles and Joy will focus on the nonfiction. All of these will be available in print and hopefully, at least eventually, in ebook and audiobook format as well. Are we ready to get started?
I believe we are.
All right, I'll go first with the first fiction pick. So for this month of July, the first book we're going to start with is Life Ceremony by Sayaka Murata. Murata is back with a collection of 12 short stories never before translated to English, each seemingly more strange and bizarre than the one before. A great choice for fans of light body horror and the generally unsettling. The 12 stories focus on the loners and outcasts of their societies with themes of not pushing your own agenda on others. Full of the grotesque and the unnerving, these slightly out of the realm of possibility stories really capture Murata's fascinating writing styles and penchant for the others. In the title story, Life Ceremony, you are welcomed into an alternate Japan where people honor the dead by eating them and then attempting to conceive life in the ultimate celebration.
Whoa.
Yeah. Readers also meet with an engaged couple whose wedding might fall through due to the husband's dislike of clothes and objects being made from human remains. The curtains of a young girl full of jealousy as they watch her have her first kiss. 2 older women on the opposite sides of the relationship spectrum share their views on family and love. With reoccurring themes of eating, several stories follow the process of harvesting and preparation of meals for others. Mixing taboo-breaking body horror with feminist revenge fables, old women who love each other and young women finding empathy and transformation in unlikely places, Life Ceremony is a wild ride to the outer edges of one of the most original minds in contemporary fiction. With a starred review from Kirkus, Murata's writing remains essential and captivating, expertly capturing the fragility of social norms and calling into question what remains of human nature once they're stripped away.
Whoa. Huh.
Yeah.
I may like that, but body horror I don't like so much. But the unsettling, like Shirley Jackson-esque unsettling,
yes.
I love. So, I don't know. I'll look forward to that one. Well, my first choice for this month is Dirtbag Massachusetts, A Confessional by Isaac Fitzgerald. Does that title get your attention? I have to say, as a proud resident of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, it did mine. And apparently I'm not the only one. Dirtbag Massachusetts was named one of the best books of the summer by Time magazine, a Publishers Weekly top 10 memoir of the season, a book page most anticipated pick of 2022, a Rolling Stone top culture pick of the month, and the accolades go on and on.
All right.
In addition, Fitzgerald's work has garnered praise from fellow writers including Alexander Chee, Marlon James, and Emma Staub. So what's all the fuss about? In Dirtbag Massachusetts, a memoir and a series of essays, Fitzgerald chronicles his life. First as a poor but happy child in Boston, then as an adolescent in rural Massachusetts, where male violence formed a constant backdrop to everyday life, then through a litany of jobs and identities in San Francisco, New York City, and Burma. It all adds up to a rollicking, harrowing, gritty, brutally honest, loud-hearted, and yes, entertaining journey of self-discovery. To quote writer Roxane Gay, this is a beautiful, sprawling, chaotic confessional. It is a man peeling back layers of himself, revealing the whites of his bones, the depths of his soul, the truth of his flaws, and the power of the best parts of himself, of which there are so many. Interested? Dirtbag Massachusetts comes out on the 15th of July, and I, for one, will be waiting.
Me too. I'm going to be honest, I picked this nonfiction title because I thought it sounded really neat and I wanted to let you talk about it.
And you know what I did? I Googled, where is the setting in rural Massachusetts, which is central or western?
Yes.
That, where did he grow up? But he doesn't. Nothing on Google gave me any indication of where that might have been. But I'm wondering if it's our county.
You never know.
But yeah,
have to wait till July 15th.
I guess we will.
All right. So my next choice for fiction is The Daughter of Dr Moreau by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Is the name Dr. Moreau familiar? You may be thinking of H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr. Moreau, a classic science fiction tale of towing the line between madness and greatness and the struggle between man and man-beast. Moreno Garcia brings this retelling to the northern part of Yucatan, Mexico, where Carlotta Moreau and her father live isolated from the rest of the peninsula. Carlotta holds her father in high regard, with only feelings of love and pride. On their distant estate, you will also find Montgomery Lawton, a struggling alcohol user who helps the doctor keep his experiments in line while pining desperately for Carlotta. But wait, what experiments, you might ask? Dr. Moreau is bankrolled by Hernando Lisdal to create man-animal hybrids so that he can use them as laborers. These hybrids come with their set of issues aside from their appearances. The process of creation and their lives are full of pain, both physical and mental. They struggle to understand their place not only on the ranch but also the world. Are they not men? 6 years pass by and Hernando finds himself frustrated with Dr. Moreau and sends his son, Eduardo, to investigate the ranch. While there, Carlotta and Eduardo find themselves interested in one another. Carlotta also finds herself not only thinking more about him and what may come, but the reality of the hybrids and the work her father does. Publishers Weekly says Moreno Garcia's world-building chops are on display as she creates a distinct, vibrant backdrop to her audacious retelling. Fans of cerebral, atmospherical, historical horror won't miss this.
Have you read her stuff?
I haven't.
She's really good.
She also wrote Mexican Gothic,
yes,
right?
She's on a roll, and I think Velvet is the Night is the title of her latest, and I think she always takes a genre and then it creates an homage to that genre or that story, so she's really good.
I'll have to read it.
Okay, I could go on, but it's time for me to tell you about my second pick for this month. The Man Who Could Move Clouds by Ingrid Rojas Contreras. In The Man Who Could Move Clouds, novelist Rojas Contreras presents a lyrical meditation on her family's history and the legacy of colonialism in the country of her birth, Colombia. When she was 23 and living in Chicago, Rojas Contreras endured a bout of amnesia following a bicycle accident, which left her with the ability to see ghosts and hear disembodied voices, a gift she claims from her father Nano, a renowned curandero or healer. Although warfare and drug-related violence had forced her family to leave Colombia in the 1980s, Rojas Contreras and her irrepressible mother returned home in 2012 to disinter Nano's body and tell his story, as well as those of other members of her colorful family. But the author situates her story in a broader context, comparing her personal experience of amnesia with the historical amnesia that has resulted in society's pervasive and persistent failure to fully and honestly grapple with the violent legacy of colonialism in Latin America. Amazon calls The Man Who Could Move Clouds a dazzling kaleidoscopic memoir about one woman's quest to reclaim her family's otherworldly legacy. Kirkus says that it is a moving depiction of family and the power of healing. That's pretty wild, don't you think?
A bout of amnesia?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is literally otherworldly.
And she emerged, she says, hearing voices.
Oh, definitely interested in that one.
Yeah, again, another one on my list.
They all seem to be.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so for my final fiction choice, I have Calling for a Blanket Dance by Oscar Hoquilla. In the intersection of the Kiowa, Cherokee, and Latinx heritage is Ever Gamesaddle. Hoquilla's debut novel follows Ever's life from infancy to adulthood as told by the members of his family and community. Beginning at 6 months old on a trip home from visiting their paternal grandparents, Ever's life takes a sharp turn when Border Patrol's officers beat his father after visiting family in Mexico. The beating caused permanent kidney damage that leaves him with an unsettled rage that is unfortunately taken out on his wife and children. Ever's mother often finds herself between jobs and unable to fully care for her family. Unable to hold down anything permanent, the family is often being resettled. The constant flux forces Ever to bottle and contain his own rage as it feels like the world around him will never stop spinning. On top of all of that, Ever's extended family has already decided who he is and who he should be, pushing him in different directions. His Cherokee grandmother urges the family to move across state to find security. His dying grandfather hopes to reunite him with his heritage through traditional dances. And his Kiowa cousin reminds him that he is connected to an ancestral past. The book's multi-generational portrait of its main character, Ever Saddle, carries a fantastically rich complexity by both capturing him in different points of his life and also telling his tale through a range of different perspectives filtered by each narrator's unique relationship with him. Throughout, Hokia succeeds at making each character's voice distinct and without losing a sense of cohesion.
Huh. Another good one.
Another good one. They're all good ones, Joy.
Well, listen to mine. My final choice for this month is The Light We Give, How Sikh Wisdom Can Transform Your Life by Simranjeet Singh. Growing up in South Texas, Simranjeet Singh, now a renowned religious scholar and spokesperson for the Sikh tradition, experienced racism on a daily basis. However, instead of succumbing to the temptation to return hate for hate, Singh drew deeply on the tenets of his religion to shape a life devoted to seeing the good and the God in others, and finding positive ways to direct his energy. As a result, he has become a prominent voice in the ongoing struggle for equity and social justice. Now, in The Light We Give, Singh, a self-proclaimed turban-wearing, brown-skinned, beard-loving Sikh, shares insights relevant to all who aspire to live lives of integrity and compassion, lives imbued with meaning. To quote the Amazon review, The Light We Give speaks to those who are inspired to take on positive change but don't know where to begin. To those who crave the chance to be empathetic but are afraid of looking vulnerable. To those who seek the courage to confront hatred with love and compassion, Singh reaches beyond his comfort zone to practice this deeper form of living and explores how everyone can learn the insights and skills that have kept him engaged and led him to commit to activism without becoming consumed by anger, pity, or burnout. PW gave the book a starred review and calls it an exemplary meditation on the power of faith. Wherever you may land on the spirituality spectrum, The Light We Give has wisdom on offer.
I think that sounds like a very timely book for right now.
Doesn't it sound like everybody is facing those kinds of
Yes.
issues and questions? So yes, I believe it will be. I believe it is.
Well, again, can't wait to read it. Got a lot of books on the shelf right now.
Yeah.
You go.
That's the negative aspect of doing the reviews because I want to read at least half of them. And
Yes.
like you said, I have too many books on my shelves as it is.
It's all right. What's like 10 more? All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. Hopefully these books will be available in print and soon either ebook or audio. And we look forward to seeing you next month.
See you later, fellow readers.